Well, jeepers! You're listening to Smash or Pass.
Hi everyone, welcome to another video on the JayBee
Hello.
and Milly channel. We are, as always, joined by Rhianna.
Hello!
And today we are going to be reviewing Go Away Ghost Ship from season 1 of Scooby Doo, Where Are You?
Oh, so for those of you that haven't watched this video for a long time, or watched the episode, or even watched the series in general, I guess Rhianna can keep you up to date with a plot summary.
Okay, so the episode begins with I'm just gonna quickly say this. I always mess up saying this word because is it like, are they called like frighteners? Frighters. Yeah, frighters. I'm going
Wait,
with
the name of the type of the boat?
they're like, it's
Is it a
like
freight? I thought, is it freight?
it's spelled freight. Yeah, like
Freight.
FREIGHTER.
What is it? Is it freighters?
Freight?
They're those things with the metal tubs, right? The metal containers.
Yeah, I think it's a freighter, so it carries freight.
Okay, thank you. Because
We'll say freighter.
Is it freightful?
You speaking before this episode certainly was.
Oh, well, we can talk about that later.
Okay, so the episode begins with like a freighter captain peering into his binoculars, being like all stalkerish to catch sight of a pirate ship that's captained by the ghost of Redbeard, who was cackling with laughter. And Scooby and the gang, they come across and they're like, so there's this like thing happening where, freighters have been hijacked. Let's go investigate. So they do exactly that, and they come face to face with the ghost of Redbeard. And this ghost has been around for like 300 years, terrorizing the seven seas. Will it terrorize Scooby and the gang? Let's find out.
Indeed, let's find out. So, I think one of the things that stands out to JayBee and I the most, we were both kind of saying this watching this episode, is how stunning the artwork is for the fog, the ship and everything. It looks great. It really does, especially like to consider how many years ago this was done for it to look that good.
Just the atmosphere and like the boat, the pirate ship in general. Like I love collectibles. I love collectible items. But the one thing that I always kind of poo-poo a bit is animation cells, purely for the fact that it's almost like, for me personally, prior to this, like a meaningful NFT, right? It's an image of something.
I was gonna say you must have an issue with NFTs if you don't appreciate cells.
Like that's controversial. Obviously, loads of talent and time go into cells, unlike NFTs, right? Really. But it just was like a picture, right? And I could screenshot my favorite moment from a Scooby movie and have it on the wall. I guess that's my thing. But if I ever found an animation cell of this pirate ship, I would amputate an arm to get it. It's gorgeous, and I think it would look great on the wall. I appreciate it. I wonder who worked on it. I don't think it was Singer, but it might be.
One thing I noticed, I think, like, I don't know if it was just that I was paying more attention perhaps this episode, but their name really stood out in the credits. I don't know if they're a big part of this one. Like, they were kind of like center at the top.
I think they were
that's always the case.
Layout artist for this series, and I think the whole of Where Are You? And then in the next one, is it the Scooby Doo show? I think he was production designer.
So I think the artwork.
Sorry, I was just going to say that fun fact that you mentioned, like the Scooby Doo show, because this is set on like Skull Island, and it was like the first appearance of it, and then the second was in the Scooby Doo show in The Creepy Case of Old Iron Face.
Oh, I like Iron Face. Okay, Swine Alert. I've already done one with the animation cell tape, but Swine Alert now.
Oh dear.
I was again disappointed revisiting this episode after primarily watching the live action movies, because the second they say CL Magnus, I'm like, okay, I know who's done this.
Yeah, see, this is where you have been very uncultured, JayBee.
Yeah, it is.
You were like, have these people not seen Monsters Unleashed? I was like, no, JayBee, and nobody was gonna for the next 30, 40 years.
They had no idea what was even happening.
It happened with Captain Cutler, and now it's happened with CL Magnus.
He's just so uncultured.
I am. Who else could be? Actually, I don't even think the pterodactyl ghost is called Jonathan Jacobo, though, in the cartoon, is he?
I don't
He's
know.
called, like, something else. A bit similar, like Emil Jacobson or something.
Okay, so going back to the artwork of this, I also think Redbeard was done very well.
Did you know, fun fact, Redbeard was originally, speaking of Monsters Unleashed, meant to be a character that was brought to life in Monsters Unleashed. And if people want to see what he would have looked like, they can check out the Peter Crosman interview that we did, because it was amazing.
Are we thinking, because I'd say this episode was quite iconic, that like this to some extent inspired Pirates Ahoy?
Oh, I'd say so, especially with the look of the... Because what is he? It's Skunkbeard in Pirates Ahoy, and they come across as quite... And the villain then is that billionaire, isn't it? He was in the jetpack, a bit like Tony Stark. And in this, CL Magnus is shown to be like a gentleman of distinguished culture. Like, he has a butler, he's got a big chair, he's got a dressing gown.
Don't you have a dressing gown?
Yeah, but I don't have a butler and a big chair.
I will say that a lot of the Scooby Doo episodes and stuff, looking at it, you know, we had the Scooby Doo and a Mummy 2, which that review haunts me. If you want to find out why, go back and watch it and let us know in the comments what you think. But I feel like they take the old episodes and, you know, adapted Scooby Doo and a Mummy 2 into Scooby Doo Where's My Mummy, you know, because they had the whole stone statue-y thing going on. And also, you know, even in What's New Scooby Doo, they kind of take some aspects of the older series and, like, I don't know, I can't think of the word. The heat is getting to me today. I keep forgetting words. I think they like change it up a little bit to make new episodes. Oh, got my phone.
I think as well, there's a lot of goofiness, but good goofiness. So what stands out to me, and they do this, like you say, in like subsequent series, is they impersonate like vehicles in the most bizarre way. Like in the Minor 49er episode, they impersonate a train by going on one of those wagons, but you know, with a light at the front. And here they just have a foghorn on a little dinghy and pretend to be a freighter. And I like it a lot because it's cartoony, but it's also like, I guess you could imagine it working in some realm.
It's fun, but I guess kind of now we've kind of gone over the kind of cold opening kind of thing. One thing I have to say, and this might just be me getting a bit like, I don't know, negative Milly maybe, is so we then go to the malt shop. I'm kind of sick of seeing that.
Isn't this only the second time?
I don't know, I just feel like I'm kind of ready for a change of scene. Like, I feel like we either start at the malt shop or on the beach at night.
Ooh.
Beach at night.
I always thought we started in the setting, but it was in the dark and it panned to something. Like, it would always be like fog, and then it would pan to the right, and then you'd hear the dun-dun soundtrack, and a character would appear. Some shenanigans would go on. Mystery machine. Hey gang. But I think the malt shop is good. I just think they need to use it better. Like, what a scene that always stands out to me, and I can't even remember if we've like reviewed it or not. But it's the one where Scooby first like does the thing where he connects straws together to steal someone else's drink. Because that stuck with me. I tried that every time I went out for dinner.
I think I tried it too. And I guess, okay, so contrasting a negative with a positive, you were kind of speaking about some of the animation and everything here that was kind of iconic. For me, after they've done the room service thing where they go and see Mr. Magnus, you know where they're on the boat and Scooby uses his like paw to cut a circle in the fog?
Yeah.
That's so iconic. Like, I was almost kind of like, I feel like I've seen that more than just in this episode. Like, is it something they've repeatedly done? Is it that's used in some form of promotion clip?
I think it's an Easter egg. Like, they'd always have a thing where the screen would go black and a hole would appear for Scooby to pop his head through and go Scooby-Dooby-Doo. And it was almost like him trying to recreate that, almost a bit like breaking the fourth wall. That he was like, I don't know, that's how I took it, but I don't know how much or how often that was used yet. I know that they did it at the end of like a lot of the Mook animation movies.
It's just, I feel like I've seen that cutting the ice thing more than I've seen this episode.
Maybe Rhianna knows. I think
Yeah.
Rhianna's like the resident Scooby expert.
I see. I can't quite remember, but I do know that it's used in several different like episodes and stuff because I know in one of the movies. I'm so sorry. Today I suck, and I'm blaming the
There's
heat.
a heat wave in the UK. We're
Yeah, but it
fine.
hasn't been that warm. That's
For
what
me,
disappoints. Actually, yeah, Rihanna's right in the red zone. Did you know
Yeah.
that?
Yes.
right now, like it's 6 p.m. and it's 29 degrees C. I'm not. If I quickly Google,
It's meant to get record breaking in the UK over the next 2 days. It's meant to hit the highest temperature that's ever been recorded here, which I think is currently 38.8, and it's meant to hit 40.
yeah, and I'm like right on the edge. So right now in Fahrenheit it would be 84.2, and then tomorrow for me it's going to be over 100 Fahrenheit. So I'm suffering today.
Are you on the edge of glory?
I wish I was. I'm not quite there. When something arrives from the post, I will definitely be.
Oh, boo!
Boo! Boo you!
So we have the ghost ship ramming the Scooby Gang's boat. Rest in
Indeed.
peace, Daphne's hairdo.
So they all managed to get on the boat, right? Scooby and Shaggy kind of climbing through one of the portholes. I think the others managed to climb over the side of the boat. And one of the scenes we see while they're on the boat that I quite enjoy is a ghost pirate soup.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I love that bit.
Because Shaggy and Scooby always interact with the villains in some kind of way, but I think this one's really unique. I like it a lot.
I just don't understand why Redbeard makes them eat it. Like, I know, well, if he is suspected foul play, then that's fair enough. But why?
If you made me something terrible as a prank, I'd make you eat it too.
But don't they eat all of it? It's not like he's just testing it. It's like, oh, test this before. Like, they do it in Nightmare Before Christmas. Like, the weird doctor goes, but unless you have some, I won't eat a spoonful. And then...
The Royal Taste Testers, but back in Arabian Nights.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So where's Magilla Gorilla? I wish I was Magilla Gorilla.
This has just popped into my head. There's in the Scooby Doo movies, I think it's the Ghostly Creep from the Deep episode. There's a model of Redbeard in that.
There's a fly. It's Invader. Kill it. Wait. Who is Redbeard? Like, is Redbeard a villain? Wait. Oh, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I've just remembered something. We'll discuss it later. But it's about Redbeard's minions. So if I haven't mentioned
I'm kind of out the bit about the minions, so the next thing's in my notes.
Do you want to reveal them there?
Do you want to tell us what your thoughts were? Because I was just thinking it looks good, it also makes it more believable, but like...
A crew.
You get a crew, like I'm thinking kind of Pirates of the Caribbean when you see ghost ships coming out of the water and stuff there, like they each have a crew. It's what makes it more sinister, almost, that like Mystery Inc. could be outnumbered here kind of thing. Because it's easy enough when you only have to trap one, but when you have to trap three...
I liked it a lot, and it's also the first time we see like villains as such being paid goons.
Ooh, one thing I love about this as well is I like the consistency with Shaggy's ventriloquism in this series.
Yes.
And I love how they do the pirate hat to get the silhouette and everything. Yeah, that bit was... There's a few scenes in this one that's iconic.
That was such a cool power that they just forgot about.
See, this is the thing. It's kind of like what they tried to do with Daphne in, like, Be Cool. And it's kind of like, oh yeah, but they already did this with Shaggy. You already had this cool, like, trick they could do.
He should do it again. I'm going to start a petition. So...
Bring back ventriloquist Shaggy.
What are we doing now?
So, can't remember how it happens, but the next thing I've got in my notes is that Fred, Daphne and Velma are kidnapped and chained up.
Oh, yeah.
I thought this was more of a you scene, JayBee.
They didn't gag them, so I don't think it's particularly effective.
My God.
You're a creep!
No, because then they can just call for help.
Yeah.
We go over this.
Yeah, but JayBee,
I'm justified.
You're a
The thing
creep!
is, they're in the middle of the sea. But they're They're in a boat.
Yeah, but radio.
Yeah, but they don't have
an
access to
ship. There's not going to be radios.
What about passers-by?
What, you think people are just going to be walking on the water outside?
Okay, what I'm saying, if I was driving a boat next to the ghost ship and I heard someone call for help, I'd help.
I don't think you would.
If it was Daphne calling for help, I could help.
Oh gosh. Okay, so ultimately they get out and they start to see, isn't it? Don't they find like some tire tracks or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit. And so they follow those and end up behind a secret kind of wall. Following these tire tracks where they see Redbeard and the other pirates. So we then end up in like an iconic chase scene.
Is this with the gay blade?
Yes.
So there's a meme.
Okay.
It goes on TikTok, and all you see is but we were talking about the gay blade of the ghost. We did some research and we decided that it meant many things, such as a dashing young gentleman, a fine young man, or something like that. But ultimately we didn't know. So if anybody knows what the gay blade is, then I guess please let us know in the comment section down below, because we'd certainly love to hear from you. Do we do verdicts?
I think with that it is verdicts, right? And as always, JayBee, we're starting with you.
I'm gonna double record in case this corrupts again. Okay, so
I think he'll be tempted.
Oh, it's Rhianna.
Sorry.
I will smash this episode. I think it's really cool. I love like the production design of the ghost ship. I love how it's Redbeard, but not only Redbeard, but also some goons as well. That makes it seem like quite a menacing villain. And it's just iconic as well, you know. I can't really nitpick anything about this, so I'm gonna smash it. Woo! What about you, Millie? Would you smash or pass Go Away Ghost Ship?
This one definitely has to be a smash for me. Like, for me, this has so many iconic moments that I feel like I've seen parts of this more than I've seen this episode itself. Like that ice cutting thing with Scooby and his paw, and the ventriloquist Shaggy thing as well. It has to be a definite smash. Which of course just leaves Rhianna. So for you, is this a smash or pass?
It's a smash for me. I think I'm just gonna leave it at that because no, my luck, something else is gonna happen.